PBKC is your entertainment destination for poker, table games, OTB, Paddock live events, and exceptional eats. The Paddock restaurant is perfect for meetings, corporate functions, parties, fundraising, and more. Call 561-683-2222 extension 199 and book your next event today. It's Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., and you know what that means. It's PBKC Picks, broadcasting live from right here at the Palm Beach Kennel Club in West Palm Beach, Florida. My name is Mike Jameson. To my right is Pat Rooney.
How are you, Mike?
I'm doing well. Happy Ash Wednesday.
No, where are your ashes at? I know you're Catholic. Where are the ashes?
I'm straight burning.
Lex, get a cigarette out and put him right on his head.
Exactly. Call Willie, get him up here. We need to do something with Noah, for sure.
Is Willie is he able to give me?
Yeah, he
gets every year.
You know what?
He gets every year. Yeah,
maybe we'll get that. I'm backed up. I have a backlog confessions. I'm like way backed up right now, so we're gonna have to wait on that.
Go outside in the trackside and throw some dirt in your face. You call it a day. You're good.
He's spending months in that confession. Right behind Pat is Earnest Christian, the only person I've ever seen that does one of those AI pictures, and the picture actually looks worse. Like, that was the worst AI.
Well, we're going to have to see that. We have to see that.
Oh,
you have it?
Got to see it. I know. We don't have it, but
Jake,
I'm going to show
Jake,
Pat.
pull it up.
I've got everything from Carl Winslow to Philip Banks.
Yeah.
So that picture.
Yeah, Carl Winslow is a good one, but that's Earnest Christian. He deals poker and does like a bunch of podcasts. Behind me is the leader of the poker room. That's Noah Carbone.
How you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing well.
Fearless leader.
We got a great lineup here today.
It's
love
going
the
to be
lineup
a
today.
fun show. And let's get right into February high hands. That's what's going on right now. Roses are red, payouts are green. February high hands every 15 minutes, 9 a.m. to midnight. Big, better, best with that big giveaway on February 28th, the $15,000 cash giveaway. And don't forget those progressive high hand weekends. We have more fun in March. We'll be talking about that in the next couple of weeks. And let's get into some big news in the NFL that's happened in the last couple of days. It looks like the Dolphins are in full mode of let's get rid of all these guys and let's rebuild. How are we feeling about the Dolphins with the massive roster overhaul? With the new leadership, they released Cheetah, they released Chubb, and cleared over $56 million in 2026 cap space. Are you happy with that, Pat?
Absolutely, and they're going to release Tua too. So they need. This is what teams that realize they're going nowhere with what they have, and it's better to just completely start over. Yeah, they're going to have to take some cap hit and that kind of stuff, but I applaud this. The Dolphins have come to the realization that they cannot win the way they're going with the current structure of the team. So start again. Listen, there were two teams in the Super Bowl this year, I think, that went 4-13 last year. You can do it. So, or Seattle wasn't, but Jacksonville was terrible last year. This year they were all right. New England terrible last year. So you can do this. But you have to have the cojones to do it, and I applaud the Dolphins for doing it because, again, I think fans are okay with you saying what we have isn't working. We need to start over. Now, you got to have some results here in the next couple of years, but I have no issue with it at all. And as a Dolphin fan, I would imagine that most of them are okay with it.
No issue there. It was very expected. We kind of sort of forecasted this like back in October, what they're going to do. And obviously losing Tyreek Hill, losing Bradley Chubb, not surprised there. You save, $62 million in cap room. But the big coup de grace, the big event, the big decision to be made is Tua. And as we've been on this podcast for the last couple months now, it's a little more complicated. Like, if you cut Tua outright before June 1st, they take a $99 million cap hit that affects them for the next couple of years in terms of how they can spend money. How that goes, we don't know. We'll see how that happens. I imagine they're going to try to trade him first, Will it be a taker? Probably not. Maybe you throw some salary in there to make it more plausible for a team to take him. But I think they're going to go ahead and cut him still, and just take the hit and just rebuild and use all the capital on drafts and whatnot and build from there. But the Dolphin fans need to be aware that this is going to be a long haul rebuild. I mean, even though yes, it is correct. There were teams like the Patriots and the Seahawks who were not playoff teams last year that made the Super Bowl this year. But the Dolphins are a special kind of bad right now in a sense. And the thing with Tua, the reason why you don't keep Tua here is that if the goal here is to rebuild for the future long term, Tua, while not a great quarterback, is still good enough to get you 6 to 10 wins a year. You don't want to be there. No, the reason why, that's been the average since you've been there. They've lost no worse than 10 games a year.
Know.
So the thing you don't want to be there. You want to that's purgatory in sports is mediocrity. So you want to be somewhere where you have a chance to rebuild. So Tua be on the roster, they're going to win 6-10 games this year, which is probably okay for some fans. But if you're trying to rebuild to win a Super Bowl in the future, you got it from the bottom up. So.
Yeah, it's tough following you and Pat. You break out the French with coup de grace, and Pat's talking cojones. So I don't know. I'm gonna like these bilingual announcers.
Come up
here.
with something in German.
Das Vidania. See you guys later. So. Yeah, this is the perfect example of light at the end of the tunnel. Like, the Dolphins have been in this tunnel of total darkness for as long as I've ever been going. Like no chance from you go Fitzgerald and then you get Tua and you're trying to find a way out. And I think Pat hit it right. The fans are okay. Now we see the glimmer of it's down there. It's far, right? Yeah. You can almost barely not see it. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that we're not going to sit here, rinse and repeat another year over and perpetuate this thing indefinitely. Rip the Band-Aid off, start over new. No organization. I mean, imagine here if things were floundering or whatever, and we're like, you know what, we're just going to keep rolling with the same thing. Nobody wants to hear that. Come in with a new plan. Say, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to break this thing down, tear it down, start from the bottom, and bring it back up. And this is the upside to it. Right now, the Dolphins have no upside without doing this, and this is the only path forward.
That's your question.
So now with Tua, that's going to be an interesting situation. That draft, the way that played out, there's Burrow and Herbert and all these, and obviously Jalen Hurts and all these guys in that draft, and where he's going to end up and what he's going to do is going to be interesting. If he's going to be a back or a starter somewhere, a backup somewhere, and can he produce? And what a terrible story it would be for Miami if he did start to produce. That'd be super awkward. But I don't see it happening. I think that his days might be numbered.
Let me ask the panel: do you think it's smart as an organization in the 1-year sample to cut Tua with the risk of having a $99 million cap hit on your books, Pat?
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? It's just what Noah's saying. You're doing all these other moves, and the one guy that, for lack of a better term, is causing you to stay in the mushy middle is the quarterback. Absolutely, it's a tremendous hit, but it prevents you from going to the next step, which is complete, overhaul. If you have him in there, he is good enough to win you 6 or 7 games. That doesn't accomplish what you're trying to do here, which is let's get this thing down to the studs and figure out what we need to do to start building. I always say you got to build the lines, offensive, defensive lines. Then you start getting some of your special players in there, and then whoever your quarterback is, whoever you're projecting it to be or targeting, then you go after that person. But get those staples in place first, because you don't want to throw some young quarterback in there and the rest of the team's a disaster. Yeah. Look at Sam Darnold. You're just going to get the guy killed and confidence level below zero. So I'm okay with everything the Dolphins are doing, but you're going to have to figure it out, Ernest, in terms of the timing of it. But you got to get rid of them. I mean, it doesn't make sense to keep them.
And with that, you also have to compound what assets you do have. If you have a first-round pick, trade out of there, get some seconds and thirds, and keep doing that until you pile up for probably 3 years down the line to really have a run at it. Just the second-rounders could contribute right away, get them in there playing, fix the cap, and move forward.
And low salaries, too, on top of that. So to absorb the
Okay, looking forward to next season. We had at least the last 3 years, the team that lost the Super Bowl coming back in the next season and not making the playoffs. Obviously, last season was Commanders. Season before that, obviously the Commanders didn't make the Super Bowl, but they kind of flopped. So did the the Kansas City Chiefs not making the playoffs. The year before that, we had the San Francisco 49ers. What teams are destined to rise and fall next season? An example of the Patriots. Do you think the Patriots are still going to be a solid team next year? Who do you think out of the NFL is going to rise and fall next season?
Well, I mean, just off the top of my head, I don't think the Patriots are going to be as good next year. They're not going to have as easy of a schedule, even though I always quibble with that because all these games end up being harder than you think or easier than you think because of injuries and the way they fall on the schedule. So even though it was an easy schedule, I don't put as much stock in that. But next year they are going to play a more difficult schedule. They're going to have much more film on Drake May. He's going to have to really elevate his game, in my opinion, not just throwing for 500 yards against the Jets. He's going to have to do it against some more quality opponents. I think teams are going to be now ready for New England. I think New England takes a step back. And again, that goes in hand with, I'm assuming Buffalo is going to get some more weapons for Josh Allen. And if that happens, I think Buffalo retakes that division. The rest of the other, Miami's in transition. The Jets are constantly terrible. So those are two teams that the Pats don't have to worry about, but I think they take a step back. I've said all along, I like two teams I really like on the rise, and I think they continue to rise, even though it's going to be hard for Jacksonville to improve on 13 wins. I think they now have a coach, they have a system, they have a quarterback that now believes in himself. I think if they add a couple more weapons in the offseason, Jacksonville should be really poised to do well next year, and more than just get in the playoffs. They should be able to do some damage. And the other team in the NFC that I like, I mentioned last week, are the Bears. Unlike Jaden Daniels and Washington, and that was mainly because of injuries and things like that. But assuming that the Bears don't get Caleb Williams hurt early, I really like the Bears next year. I know that division's difficult. Jordan Love is one of those guys, though, I just don't believe in him yet. He's got to continue to show me something. Minnesota, I don't think with J.J. McCarthy is going to do anything. And Detroit, I just believe – they had their chance, and they're going to be a good team, but I just don't see them now all of a sudden getting to the Super Bowl next year. So that division is wide open for Chicago. So I would take Jacksonville and Chicago as two teams on the uptick, and I think the Pats are probably going to take a step back. Somebody else that might take a step back, Baltimore, is one of those teams that now they got a new coach. Lamar is getting older. Maybe he's getting a little less quick with his ability to run. I'd look at them to maybe take a step back as well.
So I took a team from each side of the question here. So for the rise, a team from each conference, rather. Obviously, you and Pat, you and I and the Bears, we're big on the Bears. I think the Bears are going to be a Super Bowl contender next year. What I saw this year from Ben Johnson and that culture and Caleb Williams and how he rehabbed him and how he played that playoff game, they were literally – overtime from going to NFC title game this year. Who knows what had happened? So the Bears definitely in the NFC on my rise team. This one might surprise you guys a little bit because they made the playoffs this year and they did surge late in the year, but the quarterback kind of sputtered in the end in playoffs. But I think the Texans make a big step back.
Frisky?
A step up. Not frisky. I think they'll be a Super Bowl contender next year. I think the Texans I think C.J. Stroud will correct his mistakes. Will correct himself because I think their team around them is pretty good. I was from their offensive line a little bit here, but their defense is elite. C.J. Stroud, I think still a good quarterback, young enough to fix it, and I think he will fix it next year. So I think the Texans are a team to watch out for in the AFC in terms of like upper echelon of the AFC. In terms of teams that I think will fall, I think by default the Colts will fall because the quarterback situation, they don't have a quarterback. Daniel Jones, what's timetable on that one? October, September, who knows? So I think they'll fall a little bit. And I think by default they'll probably still be a playoff team, but the Seattle Seahawks, I don't see them back in the Super Bowl next year. I don't see them back in the NFL game. I think the NFC is too good. There'll be teams like the Eagles who obviously failed in the playoffs will rise again this year. So, I think you will see a little bit of a sloppy Sam Darnold next year. I like Sam Darnold, but he's not. What I compare him to last year, year before that rather, I compared him to Mark Rippon. That one year he had with the Redskins, 91. He had that great MVP type season, and went to the Super Bowl there, and then he fell off the cliff the next year. So I think the Seahawks will be a good team, but they won't be as good as they were this year, obviously, win the whole thing. So I think the Seahawks will be the I think will fall.
Yeah, if you're talking Super Bowl, everything relies on the quarterback. I'm a firm believer. You got to get through the gauntlet, and you got to win those games, and that's the quarterback. But if you're talking general, just rise and fall. So Pat touched on it. New England, I have New England falling. Real quick, this is their schedule this year. They have the Bills obviously twice, the Dolphins twice, the Jets twice. That is what it is. Maybe get 4 wins out of Jets and Dolphins, maybe 5. Then you have Denver Broncos, Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, Jaguars, Seahawks,
Wow.
Chargers, Chiefs, Lions, and Bears.
Man, oh my.
Nailed it. So good luck with that. So this is, again, what happens. If you finish first in your division,
Yes.
you're playing the teams in the other division. So when you're talking repeat and get over, you have to show consistency.
You know all about that
You
stuff.
have these. I do. We've been playing the top for, this is 2 years in a row now, and I know we take years off here now,
Yeah.
but 2 years in a row we got to play the best. But that's why they do it. They'll take a team, and Chicago's in the same boat. Chicago has a tough schedule because they're playing all the top teams in the conference. So it is hard to repeat like that. I have the Chiefs just continuing in the direction they're going. They're not reinventing themselves, and I don't know if they really have the pieces to do what they need to do to get there.
I don't know when Mahomes came back number one. So that's the start there. And
Start
then
there.
Who knows what the hell they're doing?
Yeah, so put them absolutely on the list. And I hate to say it, the Giants are poised, and they're in that position where they've done the thing. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Give him a halo right now. Give him a halo right now.
So the Giants with Dart, they're poised to be the New England Patriots from this year with their schedule on Dart. They're in a spot to shock some things. So I got the Giants in there. Yeah, and maybe Carolina to maintain.
When you go to confessionals, not the first thing you're going to say is talk about the Giants and how much you hate them and how much you think they're going to.
I am absolutely getting struck down the moment that door shuts.
Yes, exactly. Here's a fun question that I thought of the other day that I'd like to ask the panel. Give me the top 5 current players who are never, ever going to play in a Super Bowl. It's not winning the Super Bowl. It's just getting there. I mean, I can think of a guy right now, Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I mean, he's obvious. You just go by, forget the players in a way, Mike. You just go by the teams that really never go to the Super Bowl. Cleveland's one of them, so Myles Garrett's number one. You might put a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs on there. Mm-hmm. Detroit just can't seem to get over. They've never been to a Super Bowl. You want to put somebody on Houston in there because they've never been to a Super Bowl. But I think, you even have to, unfortunately, for a guy like T.J. Watt, I think with the age factor of him or Cam Hayward, with the age factor of those guys and the fact that the Steelers are whether they probably want to admit it or not, are in a rebuilding type year, it's going to be difficult for those two guys to get there. But another guy like Max Crosby, somebody that is just a dominant player, but is on a team that just can't seem to get out of its own way. So those are probably 4 or 5 guys right there.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, Pat, you nailed it. I was surprised with T.J. Watt. But the key thing is this. In their current environment, if they get traded to a contender, that changes now. So we're based this on the fact where they're at currently right now and where they're going to be for the foreseeable future. So obviously, I have obviously Myles Garrett on my list. I have T.J. Watt also too. Justin Jefferson is another one on my list. The Vikings.
That's tough. That's early.
It's early, but are they good enough? And look, and knowing their history.
Well, we're talking never. He'll have to stay with Minnesota forever.
Right. No, we're assuming that they're going to stay the teams for the foreseeable future.
They could trade A.J. Brown for Jefferson, and then he wins the Super Bowl.
That's different, right? That's different, right? So him, the one as long as he's in Minnesota right now for the time being.
Right.
I got CeeDee Lamb also too because the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They've been to a title game in 30 years, which I love very much. This is going to probably shock some people, but I said this during the playoffs. It was the best shot to win it this year, to at least get there.
I know what he's saying.
They failed. Who am I going to say?
Josh Allen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because the AFC is just getting better. That's the problem. And we also saw, in hindsight, after that playoff game, that front office the front office not that stable. Mm-hmm. They're kind of a little quirky.
Based on this, there's going to be nobody going to Super Bowl ever again. Like the list that everybody's – my list is easy.
Okay.
I have 5. Baker Mayfield.
Oh, my God.
I have this guy.
I'm surprised you got him as a top 5 player.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
Top 5 players that will never – okay, so maybe I misread it. I thought it said top 5 players that will never win, like the top 5 that you think. Okay,
well, he's on an edge.
Okay, so I got Lamar in there. I got Dak. Those are 2 easy ones, I believe. Justin Herbert. And I'm not – Baker's not one of my top 5.
You don't think Herbert's going to get there?
100%.
You with Jim Harbaugh?
So, I have those guys. So, and then obviously the low-hanging fruit, Myles Garrett, TJ, and, there's a couple other guys here and there.
I would have said Herbert, but then I remember who his coach is. And I love Jim Harbaugh, and I believe in Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, I can't wait to clip this and see what other people come up with too, because there's a long list of names with a lot of the same teams like the Patriots and like the Chiefs and like the Eagles making it almost every year. There's a lot of great Hall of Famers that are never going to play in a Super Bowl, and I can't wait to see what everybody.
Who do
comes
you
up
have,
with.
Mac? Any guys that
I said Josh Allen. I mean,
That's
obviously,
wild.
I hate saying that, man, but
I hate it.
and it's
but,
less
yeah.
about Josh Allen and more about, number one, that team and that front office. They're kind of stupid, actually. We just realized that they're kind of stupid. And number two,
Hot take.
That's not really a hot take.
Yeah.
You see how they handle that situation with McDermott. You'll
Yeah.
see why. And number two, the environment. The AFC is better. The Pats are better than them right now currently. And then look at everything around them.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Well, of course, guys like Myles Garrett, unless he gets traded. I mean, you had other guys that played for the Browns, like a Joe Thomas type, that were amazing players that never got to see the limelight either. So, I can't wait to see what other people come up with when we clip this later on. But now let's talk about the Hard Rock Bets new offer that they've got going on right now. And if you're not part of that already, then you are really missing out. And that is called Double Your Winnings. It's live right now. New members who sign up for a Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook account and make a minimum deposit of $10 are going to get 100% profit boost tokens, maximum $50 bet per token. If the wager wins, the customer receives 100% of the profit boost winnings, and those tokens expire 7 days after issuance, and only one token may be applied per bet. And that's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. Now let's talk about a subject that's about to get started in just a couple of days. Spring training actually starts on Friday. Looking towards the 2026 season, here's some big changes for the teams. Obviously, Kyle Tucker is now a Dodger. Bo Bichette's now a Met. We got Alex Bregman as a Cub. Dylan Cease plays for the Blue Jays. Ranger Suarez went to the Red Sox. Pete Alonso plays for the Baltimore Orioles.
Why'd you throw that in?
I did that for you.
Yeah, of course you did.
And Justin Verlander is back with the Detroit Tigers also this season. This is a new one. The automated ball strike challenge system is now fully in the MLB, and that allows batters, pitchers, or catchers to immediately contest a home plate umpire's ball strike call using the high-tech camera tracking. You get 2 or sometimes more because just like the NFL, if your challenge sticks, then you're going to get another
2
one.
a game, right?
Yeah,
2 a game. Okay.
Yeah, 2 a game. This is going to be a very interesting MLB season. What are you looking forward to, Pat?
Well, just on that topic, I'm actually enthusiastically looking forward to this because I watched a lot of baseball the last couple of years, and not a lot. There's not a ton, but the umps do miss, in each game at least 4 or 5 ball strikes. And this thing is pretty cut and dried. Like, it shows where the ball is, if it's on the line or in the line or outside the line. I'm going to be interested to see how many people object or try to say that they want the thing to be overruled, because it's pretty clear. It's a little box, and whether the ball goes in or out, it's not like even in tennis, where they have it, and sometimes it's really, really close to that line. This one is, I don't know, it seems to me fairly obvious. So I actually like this. I think it'll take a lot of that. Yeah, that human element, and even though I generally like a human element in sports, in this particular, for balls and strikes, if it's a strike, it should be a strike, and that it drives me nuts when an ump misses a call and it's a crucial, should have been out of the inning or something like that, and then usually what happens is the guy hits a home run after he should have been struck out, and you're just like, well, that changed the whole course of the game. So I'm going to be interested to see how this plays out, but I'm actually enthusiastically looking forward to how it's implemented, and hopefully it works the way it should. As far as the teams go, the Dodgers are going to win the World Series again, so you don't even need to watch in terms of games. But who's going to play them and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think there's some guys that have made some moves, and I think it's going to help. Like Verlander going to the Tigers, he's done. So that's not even like on my radar. But some of those other guys are going to have impacts. My personal team, the Phillies, already in turmoil with the head guy Dombrowski calling out Bryce Harper for his effort or something like that. Didn't have a great year last year. I said it last year, and they completely blew my mind and actually won the division. But at some point, this team is going to collapse. They just have too too many guys that are at the end of their careers or just aren't where they thought they should be. They've kept this team intact for another run that they keep getting worse. I at some point this thing's going to blow up, and maybe it's this year, but other than that, yeah, I like what the Nets did. They seem to be cursed, but at some point, talent does have to overtake the curse, and you would think this would be the year. But the Dodgers are going to win it.
If he only knew, Pat. If he only knew how to be a Met fan as long as I have,
Yes.
I'd still be alive like this. Look, for all the crap that Rob Renfred, the commissioner, gets, he's done a good job in helping progress this game. With the pitch clock, number one. Now this situation here with the ABS. So we'll see how it works out. I'm looking forward to that, of course. In terms of the season itself, my mission is simple: can anyone, other than the Yankees, beat the Dodgers, please?
Other than the Yankees.
Other than the Yankees, beat the Dodgers, please. That's all I want. I thought the Mets did pretty good, all considering what they lost, losing Diaz, obviously, losing Alonso, and obviously as a fan, I hate losing those guys because I love those guys. They're like, to me, they're lifers, especially Alonso. But at the same time,
yeah, he's not.
But at the same time, you're right. When you when you collapse what you did last year, you can't bring back the same team. So David Stern's on the clock now, though. But like I said, I thought the moves they made to replace those guys, Marcus Semien and Bichette, you said earlier, I think are solid moves that can put this team back in position to compete for the NLCS again, and maybe in the World Series. But again, the Dodgers are the big monkey you have to go off the back here, and I mean, I hope they lose, but at the same time, if they win again, it's actually a good thing because then you have the strike coming up, and then they'll be forced to do a salary cap, and I think that will force the hand of the union and everything else.
So for this system for the balls and strikes, both parties get to object, the pitcher and the hitter?
I don't know. Pat, you know?
Yeah, it looks like the batter, if you are batters, pitchers, or catchers to immediately contest
Batters,
it.
okay.
Yeah, and then if you win, obviously, you get it back, too, which is cool. It's like an NFL challenge.
You'll lose a challenge, in other words.
Each at-bat is independent, with each of them getting 2 per at-bat.
Oh, 2 per game, yes.
Per game, per player, per game, or team?
Oh, just per team.
So if the pitcher and the catcher, that's only 2.
You're not going to get to challenge every other pitch.
Yeah, you don't want to slow down the game either. That's the thing you want to avoid.
That's not a ton. So I thought there was maybe a play to make on the betting aspect, because if it were more than that, that would be strange if that was the case. I'm going to have to do research. But if you had it where you could challenge and you tighten it, essentially tighten the strike zone, that would, the on base percentage and stuff is going to creep up, because you're going to see more stuff in that zone where you have to.
There's 2 challenges in football, right?
Yes.
Yeah, per half.
Per half.
Yeah, it's the same thing, same science.
But no, I'm assuming the managers are going to have it on TV there, and they're going to be, it's a strike, so I'm not going to allow the catcher or the pitcher or whoever to contest it, because I'm assuming they would have it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very, very low challenge. Either the ball's on the line, in the line, or outside the line. It's really never super, super close. Now maybe they can get it, hyper focused on it, and it can just barely be out. But for the most part, I think these guys are going to be like, "Hey, it's a strike. Let's just keep going."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think anything will save those challenges for later in the game if the game's close.
Yeah.
When you need it.
Right. Exactly.
It's so awkward how it's going to play out. You have the pitcher or the catcher and somebody waving over to the manager over there, like call it in. Yeah. He's waving him off. He's not going to call it in. We're going to see some. We're going to see some conversations.
A lot of strategy in that, which is good for the game, I think, ultimately.
Well, it's funny if you look at the different umpires we have now, like Angel Cordero, who is the fact that an umpire's name, that means he doesn't do a good job.
Or their punch outs.
He's made some really bad calls.
The punch out is a big
games.
thing too. I think that we should need more animated punch
But we
outs.
do judge umpires, after the game with the system that they have right now. They can tell you what the percentage and how well they've done on balls and strikes, calling it during a game. So I think this should be a game changer for the MLB. I just hope it doesn't take up too much time, because I do like how fast the games are.
Yeah, you don't want to get rid of fully literally for the punch out.
Right.
Even if he's back there and he's looking at the screen and he sees it's a strike and the guy strikes it, punch him out. You got to have somebody back there.
I'm excited about despite the Dodgers and all that crap, I'm excited about baseball this year. I really
should be fun. Now let's talk about the Olympics, which are going on still. That's in Italy right now. The USA women's hockey team is going against Canada tomorrow for the gold medal. They are favored by 2.5. Right now, their betting odds are minus 525. So they're overwhelming favorites to beat Canada for the gold medal. You paying attention at all to the female team?
Here's my hot take on the Olympics.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Worst Olympics ever. Worst Olympics ever.
Really?
And here's why. Real quick, guys. Give me a name, not a team. Give me a name from this Olympics. U.S. I rest my case. Where's the Apollo Ona? Where's the Bonnie Blair? The Peekaboo Street?
Yeah.
The Bodie Miller. Somebody.
Bodie Miller.
Give me somebody. There's nobody that's done anything in this Olympics to we're the figure skaters. We're the ski jumpers. Anybody. There's nothing. We got curling. That's been the most enthralling part of this whole Olympics is curling. Now, I'll give you the hockey, but these are pros for the most part. This isn't like 1980. So, yeah, you got Crosby and all those guys playing, but do you really care who wins this? Do you really deep down care if the U.S. beats Canada in hockey at this stage? They're pros playing against other pros. I mean, I don't know. It's just been and I've tried to watch this, but it's just been as uninspiring and I just don't care. I don't care who wins. Half these people have badmouthed the U.S. anyway, and I'm like, all right, now I don't like you. So it's just a weird Olympics for me. I've been as unenthusiastic and unexcited about most of these events as I think I've ever been watching the Olympics.
Can I argue that a lot of the way we view TV, the way we used to view the Olympics back in the day, where it was on NBC and it was like it was centered, and you're able to pull out stars and pull out storylines. And then now in the streaming era, where everything is it's just too much content. Yeah. The Olympics for me, like I'm following what's going on, but it's like back burner for me at the same time. Like I'm seeing what's going on, but like there's so much, even this week with nothing going on in sports, there's still too many distractions around you. And I think that's what's lacking the storylines. Like the only thing I think I've heard that was big was the kid Ilya, whatever.
Yeah, and he fell down,
and that was a negative. So I mean,
the quad guy.
I think it's just the era in now in 2026 where like streaming services and too distractions and the Olympics are not as big a priority as it used to be growing up.
Yeah, and it doesn't set up like it did in the 80s where we had the Cold War and we're playing Russia. And I did watch that show, and that was amazing, Pat. Thanks for that suggestion.
That was good.
It was awesome. But like, did Russia play like Ukraine in hockey? Because something like that, you could settle it on the ice. Let's just hash it out on the ice. Stories like that where you're really out there battling, it creates those stories. But the Olympic had all right, the USA women's team, they were scored at one point 30 goals or 28
31
goals.
to 1.
Yeah, they're at 31 to 1
31 to 1.
That's insane. 31 goals, give up 1. And you talk about how good the hockey looks, but then I also looked at, the men's was playing somebody, and they passed, and there was no defenders anywhere, and they're basically, it looked like they were practicing, and it's boom, boom, and it was like the most perfect hockey play ever, and then right in the net, because it was just like there's nobody to challenge them. A lot of the matchups are lopsided. Now, if we could touch on this guy in the curling. So did anybody see this where the guy
the guy cheated?
He cheated.
He did.
He cheated, and he pushes it. Okay, and then now you get your and this is by trade. Curling is like an honors game, like the gentleman's game. It's like it's a big deal to like you score your own and you give the point up and all those. You call your own fouls and the whole thing. This guy literally pushes it, and then he can't help himself for whatever reason. Like somehow nobody's going to see this thing in today's day and age. Nobody's going to see it. There's 500 people watching probably. So he takes his finger and he pushes the thing, and he cheats, and then he stands up and tells the ref to F off. Like he just tells him. He already knows.
I like this guy.
He already knows he's caught.
I know you do.
He's got to know he's caught. And he's basically like, you can F off with that. And what are we even talking about? But I mean, that's the biggest story. I've seen that. And then the ski jumpers who are injected acid into their genitals in order to expand the size of their suit so they can make their suit bigger to get more aerodynamics. This is we're splitting hairs here at some point where you're trying to get a little more cloth between your legs so you can fly like a squirrel, like one of those flying squirrels. And it's the most bizarre thing, but yeah, it's not like it used to be. It's more technical and all this stuff. Where's the Jamaican bobsled team? That was a movie.
Most
like,
people say can't
like
believe Jamaica. We have a bobsled. Okay.
Yeah, I think the issue Pat mentioned. I think the coverage that NBC has done. I haven't been excited about it. It's like you turn it on, and it used to be able to watch the Olympics all day long. Yeah. It's like
are you on Peacock
watching? Don Cricky and those guys, man.
When you go on Peacock and go to watch it, I can't choose, and then you're flipping through, and then
it's tough.
You go to commercial, and there's 8 other things to watch, and now I'm watching. I'm watching Peru play Panama in a hockey game somehow, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
The 2 biggest stories that stood up for me so far in the Olympics are both negative. Is obviously the one I mentioned earlier, Ilya. The other one was Lindsey Vonn, her injuries.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I look at it, and with the coverage the way it is, the time difference obviously ruins a lot of stuff.
But that was never. But that's never been an issue though, because we had that even years ago. But they found ways to. To make it palatable for the watcher.
Back in the days, and you guys aren't old. Well, you're almost old enough. Pat and I, we would turn on ABC in the early '80s, and it'd be like, dun, 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 and they have the whole thing, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, and then you sat there all Sunday and you watch the Olympics. It's not like that anymore.
No, it's just not like.
You remember Danvers Dave?
No.
The promotion back to the Barcelona year.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, so if you could pick a sport to remove from the Winter Olympics and a sport to add to the Winter Olympics, Pat.
I mean, adding is tough for me because I think they already have way too many sports. But I go by the mantra of if you can smoke and do it, it's not a sport. So curling, like anything like that, they need to get rid of it.
You can smoke in golf.
I'm okay with that. You can smoke playing pool. You can smoke golfing. You can smoke race car driving. I'm like, all that is not really a sport to me. So curling could be
best take in history of the show.
Curling could be ousted.
So Pat's getting rid of curling. Okay, what are you getting rid of or adding?
There is nothing I would. Well, was this pertaining to the Winter Olympics or the Olympics as a whole?
This is Winter Olympic. Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing I would add or remove. However, I have a bit of a hot take though here. And it's going to sound bad and very unpatriotic here, but I do hate the fact that my NHL season gets interrupted by this damn thing. I will say that much.
He wants hockey out.
I don't want it out, but I just hate the fact that I now lose 2 weeks of NHL hockey now. That's why.
This was one of the easiest questions you posted for any of our criteria for one of the shows. So I think the mogul should be out of there. That guy goes down the hill, and you can't tell if he's actually doing anything or trying to save his own life. I would probably look the same as those guys going down the hill on the moguls. They are hanging on for dear life. Get it out of there. That thing's tough to grade, and it is the easiest thing ever. Add snowball fights to the Winter Olympics. It is the absolute easiest thing, snowball fights.
I like it. My ad would be synchronized skating, where you get like a whole team of people on the ice, just like falling over everybody. I think that would be amazing.
You like chaos, don't you?
Yeah. I do. I enjoy that. But
a lot of blades involved in that.
Oh my God! Wait, that gets scary.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, the Winter Olympics is still going on right now, and USA actually plays today. Our U.S. hockey team a little later today. Now moving on to PGA news. So Colin Morikawa won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. That's his first tour win since 2023 using Kurt Kitayama's putter. How do we feel about the Pebble Beach, Pat?
Well, I actually watched a good chunk of this because now there's no football, so I've transitioned to golf and I'm getting into golf. And I made the comment, I think, last week. I got to give the PGA Tour real quick credit here. They made this like one of those 80-player events, so they got rid of the BS that they used to do with the celebrities on Saturday and Sunday. They don't have that anymore. All that gets taken care of on Thursday and Friday. So the Saturday and Sunday is actually real golf. You're not watching Chris Berman or Bill Murray or any of that stuff. So it's real golf. The one take I have on this is I gave Colin Morikawa a ton of credit because Scotty Scheffler, like he's done the past couple of weeks, came from nowhere and had the lead in this tournament, shooting got 3 eagles in 1 round.
Wow.
My last eagle was 7 years ago. 1. He got 3 in 1 round. That is staggering to me that a guy has that kind of talent. So Colin had to birdie a couple holes at the end to win this thing. But the last hole in particular, there was a guy named Bridgman who was a young guy. He's trying to just hang on to a top 5 finish. He hits his ball not in the water on a second shot on 18. He hits it on the beach, and that's not a sand beach there. It's little rocks and everything, and he actually tries to hit his shot up on – this takes a half hour to do this. Morikawa is in the fairway waiting for this kid to figure out what he's going to do. So he tries to hit it off the beach, hits it back. It goes off the rocks back into the water. So now he's got to go take a drop all the way back where he originally hit his second shot, hits that on the green, gets on the green, Mike, and the wind is whipping so much he can't place the ball. Wow. So he's got to call an official over because the ball's blowing around. And Morikawa's got to be going out of his mind. It's like literally a half hour in the fairway waiting to hit this clutch shot. And I give him credit because he hit it after they finally hold out. Bridgman finally holds out. Morikawa hits it just off the green, putts it, and 2 putts for the win. So I give him a ton of credit. That's his first win in 3 years on the tour, and maybe that might be a signal for better things for him to come.
Yeah,
okay.
Pat's last Eagle 7 years ago. Mine was like 8 years ago out at Ibis on the 4th hole. And the Game and Wildlife had to come out and all this other stuff. It was bad, like frustrating thing.
Yeah. So this week we got the Genesis Invitational.
Mike quickly went over that. He's like, I'm not even.
Yeah, I'm
not entertaining that.
I'm not even going to talk to Noah about that.
Wait, he actually golfs?
I don't think
Is he
so.
are you as good a golfer as a basketball player?
He just shoots at birds.
He shoots
the
birds.
birdies. I get birdies like there's no tomorrow.
The weed. And by the way, the weed does not count for the record.
Yeah, we got to get Pat out of here in a minute.
Oh, really? Oh,
let's take a look at the picture that we talked about earlier on of Earnest. Who do you think this look like? Who does that look like?
What the hell?
That doesn't look like Earnest.
Stay out my business.
It's not horrible.
That's Earnest on weight gainer
that does
for
not
sure.
look like
Well,
Earnest.
I look like Uncle.
That does not look
Uncle
like
Phil
Earnest to me.
from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Massive Earnest over. That's a full size.
Yeah, that's a
super
horrible
size
picture
Ernest.
of Ernest right there.
Oh my
God,
what are you
that
guys
is
doing to
just
me, man?
absolutely terrible. But
get him out of there.
that was Ernest.
that's
his picture right there. That's the one we were
That's a
talking
lot
about.
of Earnest there.
Yeah, that's a big.
Yeah.
I don't think it's horrible.
It's a caricature. It's a caricature.
It's like me and you, Ernest.
Yeah, but
It's
all
like
of them usually look good. Like this one just hasn't.
What's wrong? What insults you? Is the white beard? Is it the nose? What is
you
it?
look like the guy who played Aladdin on the.
Oh no!
on
You know
the
who he
tour.
is? Who's the dad from Fresh Prince?
I just told you, Uncle Phil.
That's it.
There he is.
Uncle
He's
Phil.
Uncle Phil.
Now,
Will!
Listen, Ernest's big caricature is his teeth, the gap tooth. That we gotta
you
have
go.
that there.
Smile, Ernest.
Yeah,
Come
Ernest
on.
Strahan. Get him
Right.
on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's his trademark.
Well, for myself, Mike Jameson, Noah Carbone, Uncle Phil, Pat is going to head out right now. He's got to head out, but we're going to start talking about some other stuff coming up. But right now,
Wait, it's Pat. Did you like? Because no NBA. Just kidding.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah, I
great
saw
week,
the NBA coming up. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, Pat, have a great week. Anything
You
you're
gotta
looking
go.
forward to? The Genesis Open is up, invitational this week.
Well,
Anything else?
obviously I like Scotty, but the other thing I want to, with my bet of the week, we're going to go back to the Olympics now. USA has not beaten Sweden since 1960 in hockey.
Wow.
Really?
0-6-2 against them. So I don't know what that bet is, but I would actually take Sweden in that game until they get rid of that mark. That's a long time. That's my bet of the week.
Awesome. Well,
Interesting.
Pat, you have a great week. Hopefully,
All right,
we'll
guys.
see you next week here on the show.
You got it.
And now let's talk about the show we have coming up this Friday night. It's Ticket to the Moon. It's the Electric Light Orchestra tribute. We all know songs from ELO, whether you know it or not. They have a whole list of some of the best songs that we've heard in a long, long time. And that dinner and show can't be beat. You know, you get a dinner and a show just for a small price that you usually just pay for dinner. So the Electric Light Orchestra is going to be in the paddock this Friday night. The band's called Ticket to the Moon. They're absolutely fantastic.
name.
I've seen videos.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to miss it, whether you're an ELO fan or not. You know
are you
ELO
ELO fan,
songs.
Mike?
Yes, because you know what? You don't know that
do Let It
ELO
Ride, Let
sang
It
these
Ride.
songs.
Well, I know
You have
ELO
idea.
songs,
Mr.
so-
Blue Sky and all these other great
I'm
songs.
also a music nerd, so
Ride, let it ride. Is that down?
I don't know, but you know,
that is not ELO.
whatever you're singing, it does sound good. Maybe they'll perform it if you come and watch the show. So ELO
Stick to EDM.
tribute is going to be in there.
Stick to EDM, Noah.
All right, so Pat's gone. I'm in charge now.
Okay, now let's talk about the NBA because I know how much you love that. How do we feel about All-Star Weekend? I think the only thing I've heard anybody talk about All-Star Weekend is that Obama was there at the All-Star game. That's
Really?
all I've
No,
seen.
then you're
That's
not.
all
Then
the
you're not
coverage.
paying attention.
That is most all the coverage I've seen is Obama was there. Reggie Miller was interviewing him. He was like, talking smack to
He got him
Reggie
good, though.
Miller because Obama is a big Bulls fan,
yeah.
like you would expect, being from Illinois. But how did you feel about All-Star Weekend, Ernest?
So the weekend itself, I didn't invest in the weekend itself, But I did watch the All-Star game, the last two or three rounds of the actual All-Star game, the new format with the Music versus the World. And I got to tell you, first off, go ahead, no, what's up?
Was there a score? I saw some score. It was like 28-18.
Yeah,
what was that?
They play. So it's a tournament. Okay.
Yeah.
It's 4 teams. It's 2 world teams. 2 USA
somebody
teams.
scored 28 points in a game.
No, 31 points in the game.
It's so.
Kawhi Leonard.
No.
31 points in the
There
game.
was a score for the final for the game.
Yeah, no,
That was 28 to.
It was short games. They were
The short
playing.
tournament, the tournament games.
This is
so,
nonsensical.
I understand. I understand. So, but they're trying new things here. And I got to tell you,
that's nonsensical too. Sometimes don't get like you could do things to get funny. And I'll give you for instance. At one point, somebody decided to play 2 poker hands at the same time. So you would have a red deck and a blue deck and deal both sets of cards at the same time and play 2. Yeah, bad idea. That thing lasted like 4 minutes. Like so, we're headed down the same. Just leave it alone.
Well, but that's the problem
Yeah,
though. When
Silver.
leave it alone, this has been the complaint that when they left it alone, they don't care enough about it, and then they try new formats.
Well, your
and it
product
hasn't worked.
stinks and it's just going to die out and it goes away.
True.
Yeah,
So what
that's
happened? So I gotta say this. This is the first time as an NBA diehard. This is the first time I watched All-Star game in over 10 years. Okay, I gotta tell you, for the first time in over 10 years, it looked like the players actually cared. It looked like they actually were competitive.
Well,
they were locked in.
That makes one of us.
And,
Yeah.
they were playing defense. They actually were locked in.
Yeah.
These games were competitive. So this is not going to go away for a while. I like the idea of the U.S. versus World format. I mean, they do it in hockey. For
I got an idea.
So it's not. Go ahead. What's your idea? You're pretty good with stuff, by the way.
Go
These
ahead.
ideas come quick. Ready?
Yeah.
What if we gave points on the scoreboard for blocks and steals?
I'm taking the team Wemby's on then.
No, but think about that for a second, because then it would encourage you to play defense. So you not only do you get a change of possession, but you could get 1 point for a steal or a
Adam,
block.
Are you listening, Adam Silver?
Like literally,
that's a little too much, though.
no, it's not, because then you would encourage defense. Right now, you might as well have one guy on half the team on one and the other side, and you just stand there on the side.
I get the idea, the spirit idea, but it's that's still too much, though. But no, I like the spirit of the idea.
Can't call that like I'm trying to make these
I gotta
points.
say,
that's an excellent idea.
This is the first
I
time.
know it's outside of the box.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that
doesn't. He
doesn't
no,
really.
I'm being serious.
That's like you're an idiot. Like, stop saying that. I respect what you're saying.
No,
like,
but if
I get that at home.
no.
Too. Like,
If you're gonna if
I
you're gonna
respect your opinion.
if
but
you're gonna do
we're-
something like that,
we're not doing that.
but
and we are buying the new
Noah,
couch.
but
I respect
in
it.
in your defense though, if
Yeah.
you're gonna do
That's
something like that,
that's the next one. You tack that on in your defense. You put that on top of that
because
too.
I'm gonna defend you here because
Yeah.
it's not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, this is the platform to do it on that game. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? To be fair, no, but this is the first time in probably 15 years where there's actually a positive spirit coming out of the All-Star weekend. You know, because the players were locked in. They were competitive. Look at Wemby. Wemby was pissed off that he lost. I mean, he cared. And so the league is in a good place now. Like, obviously, there's other things they got to figure things out with the rules and hand checking, bring that back, maybe some more physical play.
Yeah.
But I'll give it – look, Al Silver gets a lot of criticism for what's happened the last 10, 15 years in the league. But he is at least trying new things, you know, and you have to try something
Okay,
first.
another idea.
Here we go.
What if you gave 3 points for a dunk, the same as you do for a layup? For a
Okay, now you're going
three-point
board.
shot?
Now you're going board.
Why?
Well, if it had to be
Why?
a good
You said
dunk.
this one, you shoot it. It's almost arguably you're shooting and you get a 3, right? And you're shooting, and it's relatively. What do guys a good shooter shoot now? 60%.
No, 40%.
40%.
Okay,
Like
and
Steph
dunkers
Curry,
are super high, but then you would at least be encouraged to defend the rim. Nobody defends at the rim anymore. This sport is
People don't hate 3-point shooting. People hate the volume of 3-point
people
shooting.
don't hate 3-point shooting.
No, they hate the volume of it. How many they
Well, they
do
don't
a
hate it.
game.
Other
John
people's
Starks
making
once
them,
shot
yeah.
9 in the game, and we lost that game, and it was like, wow, that's wild, 9 in the game, and then now we're
9 is
shooting
nothing.
18
now in
for
the NBA.
one guy.
That's the problem.
Manute Bol actually had like 6 threes in
I
a
just
game
watched that
one
game.
time.
I just watched that yesterday on YouTube.
I love
That popped
that.
up on the on Instagram, like New Bowl with the Warriors at the time.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So Lillard won the 3-point contest, even though he hasn't even played.
That's how easy it is to shoot threes.
That's-
You could be injured all season and win that.
I was more excited because of Con Nipple or however
I love
mess
his
up
name.
Can
his
we
name,
get that
but
check to see, because it's starting to get
I don't know.
okay.
Knipple.
Knopple?
For the FCC purposes, they say Knipple because there's a K in there.
Okay.
Just to be safe.
How'd you feel about the 3-point contest, Ernest?
I didn't watch it. I told you I didn't watch any of the stuff around it.
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, that's the one contest that has legs. That no matter what, you want to watch that because I've always been a fan of that more than anything else anyway. So him winning it, that's his 3rd time winning, I think. So he's done it before.
Would you put him up there with the Craig Hodges and the Larry Birds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like he's probably after Steph Curry, probably the best pure shooter we've seen in the league in the last 10 years.
Steph should win that every year.
Yeah, but he didn't play. He didn't play. He was hurt.
Yeah, well, here
Well,
we
so
go.
was Lillard. So
Yeah, but he was hurt since last year. So.
yeah, should they just get rid of the slam dunk contest? You have
Yes.
4 players that
Yes.
I've never heard of. I don't pay that much
Yes.
attention to basketball.
And
Waste of time.
Mike, they did. Remember, there was a time they went like 5 or 6 years, and then it came back.
I'll fix it again.
Okay, here we go.
Oh God, go.
Have them line up, and you're in a dunk contest. So you get there's 2 parts to this. You get to defend the rim, and you get to dunk. So you have a guy posted up down there, and he's trying to stop you from dunking.
I like
now
it.
we have a competition.
There is something like that. Like they do that. You can look it up.
Yeah.
People will be like, this guy, you can't.
Like you do, you ever do it
dunk
in your
on
friends?
this guy,
There's no basements in Florida, but you guys from up north who have friends with basements, you ever have that little rim downstairs in the basement, and you dunk on each other all day?
All day.
And the ceiling's only like 6 feet, but it doesn't matter. You back them down, and you just absolutely slam it right in their face.
Yeah, right in their face. See, that is
still do
actually
that.
interesting. I don't know who the defender is going to be because you don't want Wemby because they're going to break his little arms.
Yeah.
But,
you
honestly,
get somebody.
Have somebody defending the rim and have
Kurt Rambis.
Slam dunks. That's not actually a bad idea.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
all the other
thank
ones have
you.
been terrible.
Okay.
But that one that isn't that bad. The Miami Heat player did win the slam dunk contest.
He did win.
But
What's his name?
I don't know.
cares?
I forgot his name.
Exactly.
he's a Heat fan.
And I'm a diehard
He
Heat
doesn't
fan.
even know that.
Bro, I gotta tell you that maybe I'm getting old, but like it's still my favorite sport. But even like my interest this year has been waning a little bit.
Sportsy innovation. Everybody thought Banana Ball was crazy, and that guy's made himself a mint, having crazy dancing on baseball. I'm going to do something with this basketball. I'm going to.
You know what they should do? They should come up with a banana
ball.
team, not like the Harlem Globetrotters that have been doing it for like the last 100 years.
Yeah.
But let's do banana basketball.
I go.
Orange ball.
I'll say
call
this
it
much.
orange ball.
I'll say this much. I guarantee you that it'll be gone next year. The contest.
Yeah.
There's no momentum at this point.
Unless you get some interest from actual
Not
elite
happening.
players
Not
and
happening.
all-star
That
players.
happening.
silver guy looks like an alien too. That guy's weird.
They should make Ant be in it. They should make Ja be in it. If you did that, people would actually pay attention.
Well,
to
Ja
it,
could
so.
be in it, but he's always hurt, so whatever.
Yeah, well.
Oh, and can he bring what he could like dunk it and then shoot it with his mask?
Oh, stop it! Come on! I knew that was coming too. Something with guns.
How are you going to top that?
Yeah, exactly. Now,
They'll be banned for life now.
Ernest, since you're the NBA expert,
allegedly,
what's going on for the next half of the season?
Honestly, like, you look at the standings now on both conferences now. It's pretty standard at this point now. Like the top 6 teams on each side of the conferences are pretty much going to be the 6 teams that are going to be in the playoffs.
All right.
The play-ins, obviously.
Who do you got in the East?
I had New York
Did
for
you
your
snore at night?
I had New York for your starter. Here's the thing. Here's a story that could bust things up in the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Jason Tatum practiced with the G League team last week.
Okay.
wow.
He's coming back?
I think he's coming back in March.
Yeah.
Okay. The Celtics are playing very well this year without him. He gets back this year and have time to
Messes it up?
I don't think it will. I think actually he'll fit in.
Jaylen Brown's team right now.
Jaylen Brown's team right now, but he gets back there. The Celtics can make things very interesting in the Eastern Conference now. Right now,
huge.
it's Detroit. New York is playing better basketball in the last couple of weeks.
Who do you like out of Detroit and New York?
They play tomorrow, by the way, for the record.
I know. I didn't know, but now I know.
Detroit, I like what they're doing. They're very physical. New York hates that. I like Detroit in the 7-game series, but New York has a better talent. But again, now things get interesting in the East because it was Detroit, New York, and everybody else. Now Boston's back. Tatum possibly back as well, too, also. Cleveland's playing better basketball, too, on top of that.
They got hard.
So, and if Philly can get Embiid back in time for the playoffs, because right now, Philly is the top 6 team also, too. If Embiid's healthy by April, for when you actually need him, you get Paul George back from suspension by then. They're another team that could make things interesting in the Eastern Conference. So, the East is a little bit weird right now. So, just keep an eye on that situation. The West is pretty much standard. Spurs, Thunder, you go down the list of teams there. The Lakers are having a good year, but I don't see them cracking that top 5 or 4 in the West. So, like I said, I think the standings are the standings. They're standard right now.
Oh.
I think the Tatum return could make things interesting, and I think the seeding at this point really.
Give us the champ right now.
Who's the champ?
It's still Thunder to full nervous, but I got
a champ on the other conference.
But I
Who wins
got
the other conference? We need to know.
I want to say New York, but I don't trust Mike Brown.
Good
I
call.
really don't.
I like
really don't.
I like Cade and
I like Cade and Detroit. I like Detroit a lot, though. But again, if Tatum is back, remember they traded for Vucevic a couple weeks ago too. Also, that's a big move for them. I mean, Boston might be a problem again. So
MVP Ernest, I like Cade Cunningham. Who do you like?
here's what I'll say about that. To your point, I'm SGA, but it's by a smidge now. The standing's going to matter in that. If the Pistons continue to win the way they are, and OKC starts losing a little more, that puts Cade over the top. Now, in SGA's defense, though, Jalen Williams has missed most of the year, and they're still playing good basketball. So that helps his case. So, but I'm going to go Cade Cunningham, SGA by a smidge, Cade number 2, and then Jalen Brown number 3.
Okay, I like it. Now let's talk about our sports betting picks of the week. I cooked up a couple of bets for you.
Cook it up. Cook it in the kitchen.
Did you stir it too?
I didn't stir it.
Okay.
No, I didn't stir it, and I didn't cook it either. I mean,
you just burned it.
Do you cook at home ever?
Yeah.
Are you
No,
good?
I don't. My wife does.
Are you good? Can you cook?
No, terrible.
Oh wow. Okay.
No, I don't try because I don't like. I'm the one who picks up the kids, so she cooks. But she hasn't poisoned me yet, so it's pretty good. But
You're still alive.
I have a story about that.
I'm still alive. Oh, I'm sure you do.
I'm sure you do.
No, I mean, but sports betting picks of the week. I got Hideki Matsuyama winning the Genesis Invitational at plus 2,000, $25 will win you $525. And then for USA Hockey, I actually have the game today under 7.5 points, USA to win, over 3.5 points for the USA. Matthew Tkachuk under 0.5 points, and $25 will win you $225.
All right, so I'm working on this new AI model at home, right?
Okay.
One of those bots at home, right?
Wow.
And it's at home cooking up bets right now.
Nice.
It's weird, but it does it. Like looks on the internet and cooks. You can't understand it. Maybe one day I'll show you. I'll explain to you. Anyway.
Nobody will understand it.
So sometimes there's margins here that come in. So all right. So we live in the United States of America, right?
Right.
All right. Hard
Do we
Rock
do?
Bets is located in the United States of America. Okay. In Florida. Okay. So everybody's going to be putting their money on what country?
USA.
Okay, so that's inflated, right?
It is.
It moves the line, right? So we're going to go against the grain here. And I'm going with Canada tomorrow.
Oh, you
just because
not
of the
a
value.
patriot. You're not a
Nothing
patriot.
against America.
Oh, really?
Nothing against America
really?
here.
The guy went on
Nothing
vacation
against
to
America
Canada
here.
not too long ago. He's probably
Yeah.
trying to get citizenship.
But these are the
seems
bets
like.
that I'm talking about.
A.
That when you
Talking
go
boot.
and you go ahead and you gotta take
Okay,
the
Terrence,
value.
Terrence and Phillip.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You got to take the value that
Terrence
you're
and
getting
Phillip.
added. I'm going with Canada tomorrow to beat the U.S. at plus like 800 or whatever it is.
When I tell you guys that
Terrible.
no one's not a patriot,
Yeah,
he proves
there
you right
is.
every time.
Yep.
I'm joking.
You don't know what you're talking
Canadian
about.
Noah, that's him.
Hey.
What are you talking about?
You got anything, Ernest?
Yeah, the return of basketball tomorrow. Okay. I got your Knicks, Noah, tomorrow, -4.5 over the Pistons.
I like that.
And the over in that game at 222.5 points.
Can you imagine over-unders being 222 points?
crazy,
Back in the
isn't it?
day, it was like
Oh, God.
Well, back in-
75, 76.
Maybe like 100.
Oh, in the 90s,
points.
yeah. Not in the 80s. 80s were high scoring, too. The Rockets, -2.5 over the Hornets.
Oh.
The Red Hot Hornets, rather.
Okay.
And then the under on Nets Cavs at 230. You bet $25 in a parlay to get $318 back.
That's not
All
bad.
right.
Okay, let's talk about what we got going on here at PBKC. We got
got
the
a lot
St.
of stuff.
Pat's coming up. March
Okay.
17th. That's the day you do not want to miss. That is Irish food, Irish dancing, Irish music by Tracy Sands and Rod McDonald, the Tierngren dancers who have been
That's-
performing out of here for
what's the
like 20
day of the
years.
week?
That's going to be on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's
Those
March
feet
17th.
go flying.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. They
Yeah.
hover at one point.
Like
they hover.
Michael
They don't touch the
Flatley,
ground.
the Lord of the Dance. They do that kind of dancing. It's Irish dancing. People were
Fiddler on a Roofish.
exactly. They were all upset because I don't think we had the Tierngren dancers last
No,
year
and everybody
because of a scheduling
there was a
conflict.
full-blown riot because there were
was.
no dancers. Where
Yeah,
are the dancers?
it was an Irish riot
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, beer, green
Those are
beer.
scary.
Yeah, and the hooligans were out in
The
full force, and they
hooligans.
were pissed.
Exactly. But we had the best Irish buffet in town. Of course, live dancing, live music. You can't beat it. It's already selling tickets, and we already sold a lot. That is like
Nice.
the classiest St. Patrick's Day party. Like we had a classy Super Bowl
Are we
party.
going to have corned beef and cabbage here?
100%.
It is
Like, it wouldn't be
literally-
that day without it.
It is literally, I take the cabbage and I scrap it.
You want to riot?
I take the
Man.
cabbage, I scrap the cabbage, but that corned beef with some mustard on a little bit of rye. Take the cabbage. You can have my, I'm going to throw, the
It
dogs
smells.
love the
It
cabbage.
smells like
give it to the
farts,
cabbage.
right?
Yeah.
I like corned beef and rice.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
cool? I like corned beef and rice. I'm
Yeah,
not a
but
cabbage
no, the
guy,
cabbage is awesome.
What
I
else
like
do we
the
got,
cabbage
Mike?
Too. But also we got the Paddock Show. We talked about.
All right.
Yellow.
I got
ELO's
it.
coming up.
We're
this
headed
Friday
for a
night.
showdown, boys.
What?
Headed for a showdown.
I don't think they sing that either.
I did. I checked
Bro.
it.
Oh, did
Yeah,
oh,
and-
then maybe you're right. No, you are all right.
I checked
See,
it.
that's the thing about ELO is they have
There's
so many
There's so
hits.
many. Just name a song. They probably have sung it.
Probably.
Probably. That's their song, too.
My Way.
Probably. It's happening to me.
That's Limp Bizkit, isn't it? No, I'm joking.
And now the Rooney's 5K. That's something that we haven't talked
I
about
might run
lately.
this. Actually. I might do it this year, actually.
Yes,
Is
come on
that my
out,
son's
come
birthday,
out and
though?
support it. This might be my last time putting the cones out for this thing because my back struggles
Do we have
with this
that?
thing.
Do we have that?
Whoa!
Oh, my God.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he had no idea
I had
anybody
no
was taking a
idea
picture
that there's
of you.
actually that photograph exists.
guy sitting
but this
2
is me
feet
come
from you.
out and is this our what a great advertisement for the
Well,
company.
it is because we're getting more volunteers than we ever have. Because
right,
they're like,
I
that
want
guy's
to
the
be
one.
that guy.
No, they're like, that guy's helping. They need help.
If he can help, anybody can help. What is the matter with my arm in that
I'm
thing?
not
Did he
volunteering. I'm
edit
actually.
that?
I'm not going to volunteer. I'm going to run this thing.
I
this
think
thing.
he photoshopped more muscle onto that picture.
This is unhinged. Like the producer has way too much flexibility in this thing. No, it's like
Yeah.
it dropped down. It's
That's
like
a noodle
weird.
arm right
That's
there.
a shadow.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
That's
My
not
arm's
a cloud.
under there.
That's not a cloud.
This is
but
crazy work.
if you're going to volunteer,
And there's my dad's shoes. My kid says those are my dad's
oh
shoes.
yeah, those are your dad's shoes. Those are the barbecue
Yeah,
980s.
they come out for the walk, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. But the Rooney's 5K is coming up April 4th. It's such a cool race, and it's always the weekend of Easter. So that's going to be April 4th this year. It's going to be with some great charities, the Westgate Belvedere Homes Community Redevelopment Agency.
You want to run this year, Mike?
Connections. I'll run it? Or
Yeah, let's run it.
Okay.
No, run it, not run
Okay,
it.
well, I'll
Orchestrate
die.
it. Let's run.
Potentia Academy and PAL and Connections.
I could beat everybody minus Jake. 'Cause
Oh,
he's
okay.
like
Yeah,
X.
you're going to say mine. Well,
Like
I bet
not
you
Jake.
Pat could beat you.
I could beat Pat.
Oh, you serious?
oh my
Pat
God.
runs in 5Ks every weekend.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Does he really?
Yeah, seriously.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I could
Pat's
get
a good-
ready from couch to 5K. There's a thing for that.
I would take
So
Pat
from computer
over
chair
Jake.
to
I would
5K.
take,
You wouldn't take Pat over Jake.
I would take Pat over Jake because Pat runs
No,
these
look
constantly.
he's like, look it.
That changes
okay,
everything.
let's have him
He's
race on the
small in
track.
stature. Pat's got to carry 3 Jakes around.
Yeah, 3 Jakes around.
My last 5K was 22 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Pat's is 21. Now, I'm just saying that. I don't know.
What's yours?
But me?
21
There,
days.
there goes Mike
21
stirring the pot again.
Yeah, I'm stirring the pot. I'm waiting for a championship here.
Get me out of here.
But Noah's going to be helping, and we need your help because of
Yeah.
that. But Bruni's 5K is the April 4th. What are your final thoughts? What are you looking forward to this week, Noah?
This week?
Yeah.
I'm still again. It's
week.
my AI. I'm getting my AI so it can just absolutely come up with my own bets and actually place its own bets and make my own bets. It's going to be the craziest thing you've ever seen.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
I have a recommendation actually for you guys.
Okay.
I
What,
like
actually a show.
Yeah, I
Or like a
watched
restaurant?
no, a show. I actually watched the Rise of the 49ers docu-series on AMC Plus yesterday. Now, strange enough, I didn't.
Nah.
I subscribed to AMC
Too
Plus.
many channels.
Nah.
No, right. No. So here's the thing. So like,
Nah.
I don't have the subscription for that. So what I did is I got the free trial. I watched the entire series in one day, and I canceled.
You're
immediately
that
after
guy, huh?
I'm that guy. Yes.
I'm gonna
there's
talk to
nothing
them.
there. I'm
You're
gonna
that guy
watch.
who actually sends back stuff to Amazon that you didn't want.
Correct. Yes.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that stuff's in my house.
Really,
right now.
no, but really good stuff though. It's a really good documentary. It really should be called the Bill Walsh story because it's really about Bill Walsh.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't rewind his videos when he used to take back to Blockbuster.
Yeah, I
either.
wasn't kind.
No, that wasn't that bad. That
He
wasn't
didn't
that
do
bad.
any of that.
No.
That's how he is.
Yeah, it was.
Jake's,
All right, we're getting waved off. See you,
Jake's
Mike.
waving us off.
Bye,
so
guys.
That's
Bye-bye.
what Earnest wants to do. Have a good week, everybody. We're going to see you next week on the show. PBKC Picks right here at PBKC.
We're out.
Bye bye.
PBKC is your entertainment destination for poker, table games, OTB, Paddock live events, and exceptional eats. The Paddock Restaurant is perfect for meetings, corporate functions, parties, fundraising, and more. Call 561-683-2222 extension 199 and book your next event today.